we're going to start altcoin overtime. Now, here's what we want to do. We're going to hit you with altcoin overtime. And while we're doing that, we want you to see if you can get us another 500 likes. So we're going to do a sort of like, I'll scratch your back, you scratch mine. All right? And without further ado, here is altcoin overtime. AVAX. Good Lord, this thing, right? This was the original resistance, what resistance trade. Now, over the weekend, I said 45 was resistance, and Mr. Market showed me a print of 60. If the decline stops, I can't say for sure whether or not AVAX would take out 60. I think ETH is a better trade. I think if I wasn't holding AVAX, I would hold off and think about Solana on the dip. That said, if I was hodling AVAX and I had gotten in at 20, I'd pull my initial investment out, and who knows what this thing can do, right? I think ETH is a better trade, but I'm not going to get in front of this. Okay, Algorand. This is a Novogratz favorite, by the way. Okay, kind of an interesting DeFi proposition that just no one was paying attention to. It just went from $1 to $2 like that. Now, this trade may not be over. It may not be because, you know, it took out resistance at 180 and it came back and it retested. So if this market has one or two more down days and Algorand doesn't go back below 180, I think you put this on a buy list, because remember, this is available on Coinbase. So if this thing goes AVAX, right, or Solana, takes out its previous highs from February and May, every other coin like this that's done that has moved. So I don't want you chasing everything, but on a dip, Algorand may be worth looking at. Now, speaking of, you know, who cares about resistance? Cosmos. God, this thing went from 24 to 44 in like 4 days. Now, 44 is resistance, and it's almost like Star Trek. Sometimes I feel like resistance is futile. You know, Cosmos has been dormant for so long that if this trade's really going to take off, I actually think this and Polkadot could go together. So I can't like Polkadot and not like Cosmos. 44 is resistance. There is a lot of FOMO here. I would wait to see what it does at 44. But if the Cosmos and Polkadot trade are linked, then this can actually go up more. All right. I wouldn't FOMO right now, but it can go up more. Now, where I think FOMO may be justified. Yes, I know. You got to get back in your seat because I just said it. FOMO may be justified in Tezos, like this dead play that no one has looked at. If this project can somehow get involved in this DeFi, Ethereum challenge, NFT narrative, there is some unbelievable looking Elliott wave in Tezos. Now, are you going to get rich off this? Probably not. But if you're on Coinbase and you're looking for something to put, say, 5 or 10% of your portfolio in, this coin is interesting because of this coiling process, that sort of stop-start thing that I always talk about on the show. So if these other coins continue to moon prior to ETH bottoming, Tezos could be a good play. Now, Eden, okay, a coin we like that is a part of the Magnificent Seven, right, is actually giving you almost a gift dip. I figured this thing at 9.5 was gone and was just going to go. And as it turned out, everybody sold it, right? So now it's a lot easier to pound the table on it, particularly if it can recover back above a big fib line at 570. So I didn't think I was going to get a dip in this, and I got one, which is a valuable lesson. We talked about this with Solana, right? You know, you don't think you're going to get the dip. It's going to take off and go up forever. The next thing you know, you're buying it half off. Okay, Quant. Oh my God. A coin I actually FOMO'd into after seeing this on our AI, right? Our AI flagged Quant right back when it was like, I don't know, at 80. And it continued to flag it once or twice when it was at 160. I just lowered my baseball cap, covered my eyes, and go, I'm FOMOing into this because it's a payment system, like the SWIFT system, where dollars travel around the world. It's the same thing for QNT, except it's for crypto, central bank digital currencies, stable coins, etc. It's the plumbing of moving crypto from one place to another. Okay. If 343 acts as support, I'm just going to stay with the trend and say it's going to go to 550. Now, I could get hosed. It could be a top. I know that. But I knew that at 175. And you know what? I'm just going to stay with the trend. The trend is my friend. Now, DYDX. Is this coin overvalued? Maybe. Forrest may be able to say a few words on it. It looks like the place where you want to buy this is down at $8.16. That's the 62% retracement of the original ramp up. Forrest, I believe we were looking at like $3 to $4 as fair value for this when it came out. Am I right about that?
Yeah, so we did a pretty in-depth analysis comparing the valuation of DYDX to its closest competitor, Perpetual Protocol, which we're big perp fans here. So by extension, we're pretty big DYDX fans because it's decentralized derivatives, right? Now, DYDX, as compared to perp, has a lot more users because they did a campaign and they did this big airdrop thing to people that were trading on DYDX. So DYDX actually has about 10 times the amount of users that perp has. However, they don't generate that much more revenue, right? Perp does a ton of trading volume, as does DYDX, but they're pretty comparable in a lot of regards in terms of the revenue they generate. The only thing that DYDX really has an advantage on is the number of users, right? In terms of code review and fundamental score, they're very, very, very similar. So when we did a fair value comparison of where DYDX should launch at in comparison to perp's value based on fully diluted valuation, right? Because we don't want to get caught in the trap of investing in a cryptocurrency that has a high dilution rate that's going to get diluted with incoming supply rather quickly. The thing about DYDX you got to watch out for is that only 8.1% or so of its supply is actually circulating at this point. So when we take into account the circulating supply versus the uncirculating supply, and then crunch the numbers based on comparing perp to DYDX, the price where DYDX becomes very, very attractive as an investment is somewhere between $2 and $6. Now, I know that's a bit of a broad range, but that's significantly lower than the $10 to $12 that it's currently trading at. Right? Now, that's not to say that DYDX couldn't just completely melt up. We are in a speculative market. We are in somewhat of an alt season and crypto bubble. So could DYDX melt up from $10 to $40? Of course it could, right? We're bullish on decentralized derivatives. But the point at which the risk to reward ratio gets really, really attractive for us for DYDX is somewhere between $2 and $6 because that's more in line with where it should be valued based on fully diluted valuation as compared to perp protocol.
All right. So with that, all right, you definitely have to be hitting the like button because I would say that there's nowhere else and nobody else like my colleague Forrest who can break down DYDX type valuations on YouTube. So give us some love. And for DYDX, here's the chart read. The 62% retracement is $8.16. If there was a wick down below $8, that may be a flash crash to $6, because who knows what can happen. It is Rectember after all. That's probably where you want to be picking up DYDX because it was the same as with perp, right? How many times did perp go to $5 or $4 before it finally went to 20 or 25? I can't even count, right? So keep that in mind with DYDX. Now, Alpha, decentralized finance, a launch pad for other DeFi protocols, and they want to get in the NFT business so there can be both buyers and sellers, or an order book like you see on exchanges, except for NFTs. Now, naturally, like everything else, it's currently getting hammered, but that could be a good thing because it's a teacup and handle. Handles, as you know, are a complete pain in the you-know-what. They're really hard to trade. And at 88 cents, if there's a flash dip in alpha, that could be an opportunity. Okay, synthetics. You know, I just can't get enough of derivatives. Synthetics, considering the market trades terrible, is actually holding up okay. Sub 10 synthetics, I think, is going to wind up paying off at 26 or 30, right? Once ETH actually takes off in Q4. Okay, perp, as we discussed. Now, the start stop, and the start stop in perp have been epic, right? Perp goes from 14 to 25, and I'm guilty. I thought it was going to 40. And what does it do? Reward patient traders like, drumroll, Forrest, who always, they wait. They say, okay, you know, I missed the first round, and look what happens. Mr. Market gives you a chance to buy it on big fib support at 14. So DYDX came out and everybody gave up on perp. No, folks, there's more than one derivatives player at Wall Street. There's Goldman Sachs, there's Morgan Stanley, there's UBS, etc. Right? So I don't know why everybody would think perp would be dead, but that's okay because it's giving you an opportunity at 14. And unless I've totally drawn this wrong, it's a perfect Elliott wave setup where perp and the ETH universe take off, as we talked about earlier. Okay, Orn, looking at this, very interesting looking bottom. Went from 2 to 28, okay, and now it's making what might be a strange looking head and shoulders bottom formation. Really intriguing chart. I'm not an expert on the project, but it's holding support at $8.36. I'm always on the hunt for these altcoins that went all the way up, all the way down, and then made a base. Because sometimes the bigger the base, the higher into space. I don't know if that's true in this case, but it's something I always look out for with altcoins. Speaking of bigger the base, I saw this in the comments, and I saw that one of our big YouTube colleagues has picked up on this. The Graph, a big favorite of Multicoin Capital, huge hedge fund in Austin, Texas. Currently, the Graph, as usual, in the handle formation, getting hammered, down 10% today. Who knows? Maybe it's down another 5 to 10% tomorrow. Graph is at 80 cents. Where is it going to be the next Ethereum DeFi up cycle? Not at 80 cents. Let's put it that way. Okay, Kusama. Now, a lot of FOMO in the Polkadot testnet, right? No one wanted Kusama at 80 when I was talking about it with Ian Bellina and Oh Hey Maddie when it was at 20. Oh Hey Maddie actually fired off a buy order while it was charting it. Okay, so Oh Hey Maddie got to ride it all the way up to 600, and then hopefully he got out because it went all the way down to 160, and now it's back at 440. Now, the trade for Kusama has been great, but is the next big move in Polkadot, right? The Kusama testnet has done well, but the Kusama trade or this up move could be a foretelling of how big the next trade could be in Polkadot.
Token Metrics is a cryptocurrency investment platform that helps users leverage machine learning to become better crypto investors. Our in-depth analysis helps eliminate the emotions of investing, find profitable investment opportunities, and filters out scams. Learn more at tokenmetrics.com.